of the show by dropping us your questions or comments to blueraidernet@gmail.com. Tonight's show is presented by Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics. Bud Light, it's for the fans. And Ascension St. Thomas, the official hospital partner of MTSU.
Buford from 17, good, and middle wins it.
Now with Coach Nick McDevitt, here's the voice of the Blue Raiders, Chip Walter.
Coming up.
Boulevard here in Murfreesboro as Middle Tennessee basketball underway in Conference USA. Chip Walters here along with the head coach Nick McDevitt, and our first of 8 programs here from the Boulevard. Just so if you're taking notes, look ahead 8 or 9 straight weeks. We'll take on the 20th, we'll not be here. That is the night of the College Football National Championship game. So it's a good night to take off, take a breath, but we'll be here for the next 2 weeks. And Coach, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Yeah, we're back at it.
We're back at it again.
We're back at it.
Again, glad to have our nice crowd here, and special guest, Dr. Sidney McPhee, and the First Lady are here with us tonight. Glad to have them with us. Off to a 10-5 start for the Blue Raiders this year, 1-1 in Conference USA play. This is the first week of what is going to be a grind in this league. It is already showing itself to be something crazy because we know Liberty's really good. We've seen them. They're the highest ranked team as far as the net and in KenPom. Louisiana Tech was kind of the hands-down favorite to win the league. They got beat by 30 on Saturday. They're 0-2 in the league. Everybody is almost 1-1 after the first weekend. A lot of folks have been knocked out. UTEP and New Mexico State, I think, the only 2 that are unbeaten right now, but they've got to go on the road.
And Kennesaw State.
And Kennesaw State's 1-0 because they beat Jacksonville State. They're coming here on Thursday. So one thing that the Conference USA on the men's side this year has proven to be really, really good. You've got the numbers of how they've done at home, and also going into conference play, Conference USA was ranked slightly ahead of the American as far as conferences are concerned, which was a big jump from a year ago.
Yeah, there's 30-plus conferences, obviously, around the country. And coming into league play, Conference USA was 9th in the country. You think about the Power 4 leagues, the Big East, and then next comes like the Mountain West, the WCC. The A-10 was 8th. We're 9th in front of the American, who's 10th. And so a really tough league. And our teams performed you're that way because you performed well in non-conference play. You know, we played several teams out of the American in South Florida, and UAB won those 2 games. Other teams in our league performed well in their own non-conference play. The teams in our league combined to go 55-6 at home. And I think it just speaks to how hard it's going to be to go on the road because of the caliber of opponents that we're playing. This past weekend, Thursday, Saturday, the home teams, there were 4 games on Thursday, 5 on Saturday. In those 9 games, the home team went 7-2. And so I was telling our guys, we were one of those wins. You know, one of those losses was because of us. So you got to feel like when you look back at what all the teams did in non-conference play and then what again happened on the first weekend, it's going to be difficult to go win on the road, which speaks to the importance of holding serve at home.
That's right.
And we've been good at home, and it's got to continue that way this weekend. The
2 road wins in the league on Thursday night were Middle winning at FIU, and the team from the north that they won. That impressed me.
It impressed a lot of people, I'm sure. Liberty's really good, and that's a hard place to go win. I think what it also shows, though, there's a lot of folks that feel like that road trip in particular is one of the most difficult. And the reason is, I mean, you think about the road swing. When teams come play us, we're travel partners with Western. To get from one to the other, it's 100 miles up the road. You got to. But on Friday, it's a 45-minute bus ride to go play UTEP over in El Paso. Liberty in Lynchburg, Virginia, and FIU in Miami, Florida are travel partners. And so you're trying to get from one place to the next, and you're going to play in 36 hours. Fortunately for us, our administration helps us tremendously. We've got great support all the way from the top with Dr. McPhee, Chris Massaro, our athletic administration. So we chartered after the game on Thursday night, as you know, and got to Lynchburg on Thursday night.
About 1 a.m.
But with
still,
it said,
yeah.
it's still you're getting in the bed and it's 2-something in the morning and you're worn out. And so that next day, your prep, you've got a 1-day prep for your next opponent. The other part to that, there couldn't be two more drastically different playing styles than FIU and Liberty in the league, and you play them back-to-back. And so it's one of those where a lot of the coaches in the league are like, man, that's a tough swing, not only because of the travel, but the playing style, and whoever you play second, you've almost got a 1-hour walkthrough or a ballroom walkthrough to completely change the way you're going to try to defend and score points than you did the night before.
Back a few years ago, you had FIU and FAU on the road, and it was like, go down, get some sun, all of that.
Hey, and you think about this. Now, I'm not saying they're doing it intentionally, and I'm not saying that we wouldn't do it if Western wasn't a 4-hour bus ride from here. But FIU always played at 7 o'clock at night on Saturday, always, when they had FAU in the league 45 minutes away. Now, all of a sudden, when teams are traveling from Lynchburg, Virginia, they've bumped their games up to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And you don't have quite as much rest time or quite as much preparation time. I'm not saying we wouldn't do the same thing, but it's smart. It's another way to have home court advantage, like not give your opponent quite as much rest, make them come in there and they've got a walkthrough. If you're going to take your shoot-around time for a 2 o'clock tip, that's going to be at 7:30 in the morning because everybody's going to eat a pregame meal 4 hours before. Well, that's at 10 a.m. The home team's going to shoot from 8:30 to 9:30. If you want a shoot around, you're going to shoot from 7:15 to 8:15 in the morning when you just traveled all day the day before. Well, nobody's doing that. Yeah. And so it is a hard trip. So the point being, when you can go get one of those two, you got to feel good that you came home with a good one.
I will say when we left Miami Thursday night, it was 75 degrees. When we landed in Lynchburg, it was 25 degrees.
That's right.
So,
and blowing the snow.
And the snow was blowing around a little bit. But, that's the thing. You build a roster to not only try to hold serve at home, but you try to have a mature group that can go on the road and steal a few. And it looks like you have a roster that's like that. We're going to talk to Jalen Counter a little bit later, who is one of the real key pieces, I think, to that. Yeah. He and Isam Mustafa in particular bring you more age, more experience, more maturity.
They do, and it's not like we've won a million of them, but right now we have won the most road games of anybody in our league. Yeah. We've won 3 on the road already, and nobody else in our league has won 3. Now, some have just played 3. We've played 6 road games already. I told our team that, you look back over the last several weeks and almost 2 months, we've played at home 3 times since November 17th. We've played 11 games, 3 at home, 3 neutral, and 5 on the road. And in that 11-game stretch, we've come out 7-4. And, fortunately, we're at that point now where over the next several weeks, 5 of our next 7 are at home. And we've been able to have some good road wins and neutral site wins and home wins with that mature group. Now it's got to be that a mature group, in part led by the 2 that you just mentioned, and Jalen and Isam, allow us to, as you said, you got to make some hay while the sun's shining, and right now we've got to do that over these next couple of weeks.
This week it'll be Kennesaw State on Thursday night, and then Jacksonville State will be here Saturday afternoon at 5 o'clock. Nick McDevitt Live brought to you in part by the good folks at First Vision Bank. Accomplish your vision for your personal or business finances with First Vision Bank. With dedicated banking professionals, products to fit your goals, and advanced financial management tools, your vision is their mission. FVB.bank, FDIC Equal Housing Lender. More with the head coach after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Hey, Blue Raider fans, have you heard about the MTSU branded debit card from Ascend Federal Credit Union? Use your Ascend MTSU debit card in stores and online, or add it to your mobile wallet for the ultimate convenience. Need some cash? Use this card fee-free at thousands of ATMs worldwide. Stop by one of Ascend's 5 Murfreesboro branches or visit ascend.org to learn more. Bank where Blue Raiders belong. Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics.
Not feeling well and need to see a doctor? Find the care you need now at Ascension St. Thomas. We're here with 24/7 ER care, same-day care, and walk-in urgent care for broken bones, sprains, allergies, sore throats, and more. Visit ascension.org/St. Thomas Care to get the right care at the right place at the right time. Serving Middle Tennessee State University, Murfreesboro, and surrounding communities.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company for over 80 years. Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders!
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in supporting and treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes, providing expert treatment of injuries to bones, joints, or muscles. TOA's team of orthopedic specialists can get you back in the game. Same-day appointments and walk-ins are welcome. Injured? Visit one of our many ortho urgent cares, or to make an appointment, call 1-855-NEED-TOA or visit www.toa.com. TOA, the official team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics.
Last 30.
TSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing. Update your information and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Coming up in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back into the Boulevard, right across from campus at the corner of Middle Tennessee and East Main, our favorite sports bar and grill in Murfreesboro. Be sure and stop by today. They've got great lunch specials and great beverage specials here on these Monday nights. Coach Nick McDevitt here, and we talked about the road trip that began this past weekend, going to FIU. You mentioned about the difference of styles. FIU looks like they have 8 guys out there on defense, the way that they play, the way that they scurry around and double team the ball everywhere. Explain to folks what they're doing.
Well, they just want to run you out of what you normally do. They're not going to let you run your sets, things that you work on every day. You work on play execution, your timing, and they're not going to let you do that. They pick you up full court on free throw, makes or misses. They're in a full court press, and you just don't see that very often. You know, most of the time the other team needs to make it in order to set it up. It doesn't matter who's shooting it or whether they make it or miss it. They're going to press you. They run and jump you at odd times. What is odd for everybody else, not odd for them, because you watch how they rotate out of it. So all of a sudden you're seeing pressure in doubles come from areas that it normally doesn't, and they just aren't going to let you. You're going to have to be able to pass and catch and play the game. If you're wanting to go down there and just execute the plays that you've put in and practiced, that's not happening. And so that they're going to make you uncomfortable. Because of that, though, it's a fast style.
They try to speed you up.
Yeah, I mean, there's games where you look up and you find yourself up 15 and you can feel pretty comfortable about where you're at. That's like being up 5 or 6 in most games. And the opposite is true. I mean, you can go from, 12 down to 5 up in the matter of a media timeout to media timeout. There's just big swings in that game. And, we were on both sides of it and had a good stretch down the end. And we had played really good defense without fouling a lot. And so down the stretch with about a minute to go, we only had 1 or 2 team fouls. And once we got a lead, we were able to intentionally foul about 4 or 5 times and burn the clock pretty low at the end.
Finally got it down to about 4 seconds and when they threw the ball in. And in that ball game, or in that situation, Torrey Alston was the one at 6'10", or whatever he is, that tall. He was able to intercept and swat it away. But speaking of him, in a game like that, here he is, still a redshirt freshman, and he looks up every time he's got the ball. And there's two sets of hands in his face. It took him a little bit because that was his first college start. It took him a few minutes to kind of, okay, let me get my head off the swivel here a little bit and get calm. Yeah,
he's played logged minutes throughout the first 13 games going into that one, but it's just different when you're starting. It's usually the fastest minutes of the game. Both teams are fresh, both teams are excited, and the energy's in the building. Those are usually the fastest minutes of the game. And now you're out there, and it seems twice as fast because of FIU's style. And, once he got his feet under him, and when both that game and because of Liberty's style, it's different when you've been in that game and played that style before. You could see who was comfortable in it, who had played down there last year, who had played Liberty before, and who hadn't. Mm-hmm. And it's just something that it's once you've got experience in it, what we're saying makes sense for guys like Jalen Counter, Esam Mustafa, Torrey Alston, even Cam Weston. He wasn't in those games last year. Now all of a sudden there's about 4 guys that played a lot of minutes that you can talk all you want, you can show the film all you want, but until you get out there and experience it, you just don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, you also have a luxury of having 2 guys that can play the point as talented as Jalen Counter and Cam Weston, and from that one position on Thursday night, you got 32 points out of your point guard position between those 2 guys. And in a game like that where it is havoc on defense, that's very important.
Otherwise, and this is the other reason FIU does what they do, it may not show up in tons of turnovers, but they count on you don't have enough ball handlers on your team to withstand what we do. At some point, the ball handler's going to get it out of the pressure, but it's going to land in somebody's hands that can't handle it, and they'll throw it in the stands. Or you're going to wear out the other team's ball handler. If Jalen Counter was the only guy that could handle it, obviously we would try to figure out ways to make sure it stays in his hands. But with about 10 minutes to go in the game, handling that pressure minute after minute, possession after possession, it's win time, and he's worn out.
Yeah.
And so you better have multiple guys that can move and pass and catch without throwing it in the stands, or you have a hard time.
You mentioned the wild swings. You were up 51-44 with about 13 minutes to go. You were down 7 with about 7 minutes to go.
Was that at the 65-58?
65-58.
That's then when Jalen made the 3 at the top of the key.
Made the 3 at the top of the key.
Yeah, and that was a big one.
And then they cut it to 4, and then came back and hit the shot to give you a 68-67 lead, and that was a lead you never gave up.
And he and Cam both did a really good job down the stretch of finding ways to get to the free throw line, and that was key for us.
And Raiders win it on the road 73-69. We'll step aside. More with Coach Nick McDevitt after this as you listen to the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
RJ Young is no longer just your office copier supplier. We are now helping you create the modern office. Our cutting-edge solutions cover security systems, business phones, managed IT, and AV technology for your organization. We've teamed up with world-class partners to save you more through building services, and our U.S.-based specialists are your personal coaches, making sure you always have the highest degree of personalization.
Hey there, I've been hired by the Tennessee Lottery to celebrate every time there's a winner across the state. Truthfully, it's a little more work than I expected. I had no idea that Tennessee Lottery players win an average of $3.6 million every day. That's a whole lot of moolah. So play today for your chance to win big. The Tennessee Lottery, game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
When it comes to money, I'm a saver.
Me too. Though, I can also be a bit of a spender.
Well, Ascend has got you both covered. With our interest-earning checking, you can...
Earn interest so I can save money for my beach trip?
Sure. And with our rewards checking, you can...
Oh, get cash back for my purchases? Tap reward?
Yep. So no matter how you handle your money, Ascend Federal Credit Union has the right checking account for you. Interest-earning checking earns 3.56% annual percentage yield up to $15,000. Some restrictions apply.
Last 30.
Well, and need to see a doctor? Find the care you need now at Ascension St. Thomas. We're here with 24/7 ER care, same-day care, and walk-in urgent care for broken bones, sprains, allergies, sore throats, and more. Visit ascension.org/St. Thomas Care to get the right care at the right place at the right time. Serving Middle Tennessee State University, Murfreesboro, and surrounding communities.
Coming up in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back into the Boulevard tonight, and Nick McDevitt live, and always happy to have a great crowd here on Monday nights, and got a really special lady who's here with us tonight. Helen Jennings is here this evening, and for years, Helen and her husband Leland have been coming to our shows, and their friend Alan Fuller. And Alan and Leland are not with us this year, and we just want to make sure that we've got Miss Helen wrapped up in our hearts with her, and thank her for being here. Just know you've got family here with you, right?
Absolutely. Leland and Alan both were two good men, and I know Helen and Leland had 68 years together.
Yeah.
He passed away on their 68th wedding anniversary. That's if we're all so lucky.
If we're all so lucky,
we could all
for
be
sure.
so lucky. He was a good man, a good dad, a big Blue Raider. Obviously, Alan was as well. And, I think we'd be remiss if we didn't think about Chuck Akers.
And Charlie and Susan.
And Charlie, yep. We're getting to do what we want to do. It's Christmas time. It's New Year's, and not everybody as lucky as we are.
Yeah, just had those notes down. Want to make sure we mention those folks here tonight with us. As we mentioned, following the FIU win, we took the trip up to Lynchburg, Virginia to take on a Liberty team that had gotten off to a 12-1 start this year, had beaten Kansas State. They had won the tournament over in, Jamaica?
Virgin Islands,
and, had really been very impressive, coming off a 1-point loss to Western Kentucky after they'd led that ball game by 16. But to me, of the teams we've faced this year, and I'm discounting Tennessee here, but of the teams of the mid-major level, they're about as skilled as it gets.
They're skilled. They can really shoot it, but they put you in spots that you're not used to. They play generally two forwards. Both are about 6'7", 6'8", at the 4 and the 5, along with some other guys that can really shoot it. but those two guys can really, really pass it. And because of the way they handle it, there are times where a guard is setting a ball screen for their center. And so, our Jalen and Esam are used to guarding ball screens, but it usually it's not Esam guarding the ball handler and Jalen guarding the screener. And all of a sudden, that's part of what I mean by the style of play.
They kind of invert the floor a little bit.
Correct. And I'm not saying if you had a week to prepare for it or if there were the first game of that 2-game road trip that the result may not be any different, but you've got 3 or 4 days to prepare for that when you're trying to go show Esam and Chris how to guard a guy that's going to be used in ball screens but is also athletic enough to play at the rim. Those coverages are very different than what you're used to. And that's why, they have been successful in their tournaments. The last 2 MTEs last year, they won the tournament down in Myrtle Beach. This year they won the one in Virgin Islands because it's hard when you in those tournaments. You play them the very next day and may have no court time. But Richie does a great job. They being Liberty, they were in the Big South when I was at UNC Asheville, and obviously we had a lot of battles with them there. And now that they're in Conference USA, they've still got a good team. Whether it's the women's program that Carrie has, and I know Rick's worn them out for several times in a row now. I know that doesn't get old. But they've got a good athletic program up there. They got nice facilities, good stuff, and it seems that it'll be a kind of a rivalry, so to say, because
it's a budding rivalry for sure.
Yeah, because we're pretty dang good too.
Yeah.
I know Mace is going to get that football team going, and Rick keeps winning, dang 31 in a row. It's unbelievable. By the way, if you do the math on that, number 50 in a row would be in the championship game.
Oh, would it be?
Right. There's 16 regular season games left.
Yep.
That would put it at 47. And if he won the championship, which they're going to, he would get to 50 straight Conference USA wins if
no pressure.
Running the table.
No pressure.
I'm calling it right now. It's going to be 50. It's going to be 50 and hoist a trophy.
There you go. The game at Liberty got off to both teams. The lid was on the basket. Their defenses were both really good. Both teams seemed to be well prepared for each other. And then they finally kind of got things going about 8 minutes in.
They did. We went back and watched that today. I think our defense was good. And that's not to say their defense wasn't. I didn't think we took advantage of some of their early defensive mishaps with what we were doing on offense. We were up 10-7, but going back and watching it, it was a time where we could have been up 15-7, 16-7. A couple of bad offensive plays. It wasn't just throwing the ball in the stands or anything like that. It was just, man, there was an easy scoring opportunity there we didn't take advantage of, and you get to a point where it's 10-7, and we could have been up 10 points. And that way when they go on their run, it ties the game, or you're down 2 instead of finding yourself in an uphill battle the rest of the night.
Yeah, they took an 11-0 run.
And we lost by 10.
Yeah, and you lose by 10.
Now, we made runs. They made a run. We cut into it, had a good start to the second half, but it wasn't like we played bad for 40 minutes. There were about 8 to 10 possessions that we didn't execute very well, and when you're playing really good teams, it bites you, particularly on the road.
Yeah, and again, do the math. We promised there wouldn't be math involved in this, but we're going to give you a little math anyway. Liberty made 28 baskets, Middle made 25, so there's 6 points difference. They made 4 more threes than Middle. That's 4 plus 6, that's 10. And that's the difference in the game.
Yeah, you look at the turnovers. I mean, we had 10 turnovers. Almost even. We had 8 in the first half. Did a really good job in the second half. Only turned it over twice. I think both teams ended up with 7 made free throws. I think it was 7 for 10 and 7 for 11, if I'm not mistaken. The rebounds, I think, were 43-39. You just keep going on down, and it was a lot of even. It just, we had some possessions that were empty and they made threes, and that's what they count on. They do the math.
Yeah.
That is what they count on. We're going to be a low turnover team, a good not let you get out in transition. We're going to shoot a bunch of threes. So in order to beat us, you're going to have to make a heck of a lot of twos.
I bet your guards would like their stat crew to score the game every night because they have these crazy assist numbers that
Jalen, I know
I'm curious because they had 16 assists. You guys had 8 as a team, but they had like in a game or two before that had every night they've got like 18 or 20 assists when they play at home, and it's like, okay, how's that happening?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
But Liberty wins it by a score of 73-63. They will be back here on the final week of the regular season. And, it's one of those things where, you like to go and get road games where you can, but you played them up there without their students. I think that first week of March when they come in here, it's going to be loud and there's going to be something on the line. And that's the last week of the regular season.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. We're looking forward to getting back here and playing at home. It feels like it's been a while. Well, it has been a while.
It has been a while.
It has been a while. We got to play Cal Baptist and Lipscomb right before the break, but we only playing there 3 times in the Glass House in the last really 10 weeks. It feels like 8 weeks for sure. So glad to get back in there this weekend.
All right, first week of the Conference USA season is in the books. Week 2 will be at the Glass House, Middle Tennessee, and Kennesaw on Thursday. Jacksonville State will be here on Saturday. Coming up next, our special guest, Jalen Counter, will be here with us as you listen to Nick McDevitt live on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
Smith dribbles to the top of the key and lets it fly, and it's no good. Oh, but wait, he was fouled. They'll have another chance to win. Hey, you know what this reminds me of, Bob?
The game against State last year.
Nope, the bonus scratch instant games from the Tennessee Lottery. They give you 2 chances to win, one on the front of the ticket and one on the back.
Okay, that's random.
Play the bonus scratch instant games today for your chance at up to $500,000. The Tennessee Lottery, game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
I've had my eye on this sports car for a while. It's not a must-have, more like a would-be nice to have.
We all have things we hope to get someday. With great auto loan rates from Ascend, we're here to help make your someday soon.
Well, guess what? I'm about to be very nice to myself. Call me Mr. Nice Guy.
Ascend Federal Credit Union. Apply online today.
Last 30.
Feeling well and need to see a doctor? Find the care you need now at Ascension St. Thomas. We're here with 24/7 ER care, same-day care, and walk-in urgent care for broken bones, sprains, allergies, sore throats, and more. Visit ascension.org/St. Thomas Care to get the right care at the right place at the right time. Serving Middle Tennessee State University, Murfreesboro, and surrounding communities.
Welcome back into the Boulevard as we roll through Nick McDevitt live tonight. The head coach of the Blue Raiders will be back with us here momentarily, but we have the real opportunity to have one of the new players on the ball club this year and just a doggone good guy. Jalen Counter is here. Please give him a nice round of applause. Welcome him in. How you doing, Rock?
I'm doing well. How are you, Chip?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. They call you Rock, and it's R-O-C, not R-O-C-K, right? Tell us where Rock came from.
So there's a movie called South Central. There is a kid on there named J-Rock.
J-Rock.
Yeah, he was pretty bad growing up. And then my uncle T, he named me after him growing up, and that just kind of stuck with me.
Yeah, and so I don't even hear your teammates. They never even call you Jalen. I call you Jalen. They all call you Rock all the time. You got here in what, June?
June, yes.
You got here in June. And summer workouts were going on, and I came by and watched one day. I said, man, this guy, you walked over first day and introduced yourself to me instead of me coming over and saying hello to you. And it just kind of showed me a lot about you right then, your maturity, and flashed that smile that he's got right there. And he started snowing me from right then, and here he is. But you seem to jump right in, both feet from day one.
I mean, you look pretty important when I walked in, so that's why I came up and said
Looks can be deceiving.
Yeah, you look pretty important. But I always got a smile on my face. I'm great to be here. Great to be around this atmosphere, this city. Really good food out here. I'll give you that one.
You give that?
Especially down here at Boulevard and also down here at Jefferson's, man. But no, I just love being here.
You grew up in Oklahoma City.
Yes, sir.
Talk about your high school days growing up there in a really, at that time, NBA city at the time. Is that what got you hooked on basketball?
I wouldn't say that. My uncle, as I said, he named me what I am now. But no, he kind of got me into basketball. I played football and baseball growing up. I remember.
What position you played football?
Running back and safety.
Okay, I can see that.
But I will tell you this: it was my 6th grade year. I was doing Oklahoma drill, and I got hit a little too hard, and that was my last time I ever wore a helmet. Then I played baseball all the way through junior year, and then basketball kind of was more important to me. So at the end of the day, once you get older, you can't play too many sports as you get older. So I feel like basketball was my calling.
So once you got to high school, you were playing basketball. Mm-hmm. How good was your high school team?
My senior year, we were really good. We were 22-4. We were supposed to go to state, and that's when COVID happened. When we went down to Tulsa, Rudy Gobert got to touching all the microphones and stuff when he played with the Thunder, and that kind of ticked me off a bit. But we were supposed to go to state. We were the 2 seed, I want to say. We didn't get to finish because COVID happened, so that was kind of a bummer.
As an athlete, and everybody in this room had their own COVID stories. How, as an athlete, did you feel like something got taken away from you?
COVID was the best thing that happened to me. So my senior year, I graduated with 0 college offers. I ended up working at UPS from, I want to say, till September all the way to December. I didn't think I was going to play basketball again, to be honest with you. I was
really?
I was working there for about 2 months. And then I got a text message on my Twitter. It was my prep school. But I didn't read it because I, just thought I was going to continue working at EPS. And then he sent me the same exact text message the next day. He was like, I watched your film or whatnot. I want you to come down for a month and see how you like it. So I initially ended up going down there for a month. I ended up paying $500 there. But this was when I was working at EPS. I didn't touch a basketball for like 2 months. So when I got down there, we were doing 4 days quick. Once I got down. So like the first 3-4 days, my body was just shut down sick. So when I went down for a month, I wasn't playing to my full potential. And then I wasn't going to go back until it was, I want to say, New Year's Eve. I was supposed to go out with a couple of friends, so we didn't end up going out. And I'm just sitting there like, I'm not missing too much at home. So eventually I ended up texting my coach. I said, man, hey, I want to come back. I want to come back and play for you. And that I did, and that right there was probably the best opportunity or the best moment that I feel like kind of changed my life. I went down for January through March, ended up averaging 25, 5 and 5, and ever since then, man, the ball just kept rolling.
You know, there's not a whole lot of people that will say that COVID was a blessing to them, but you're one of those few people that can say that. You went on to IUPUI.
Yes, sir.
And had a great career there. You led them in almost every offensive category, and then made the move to come to Middle Tennessee. What has that transition been like from there to here? And you know, Indy's a great town, and but you came to another good town.
Yeah, Murfreesboro is a great town. The transition it's been really different. Coming to IUPUI the last 2 seasons, where we won 10 games combined. So man, that was extremely difficult. But now, man, I'm around a lot of great group of guys, great coaches.
You got a hungry, mature group around you.
That we do. So when I was at IUPUI, that was my sophomore year. We started 3 freshmen, so we were very immature. We didn't have a lot of experience my first year there. And then the second year came through. We brought in a couple guys, and we just really couldn't just mesh well together. So here, man, I love being in that locker room. I love putting on that uniform. I love being a part of this community. I love being a part of Middle Tennessee. But it's always easy, man, when you're around like a great group of guys that want to win, that want to play hard, that are very unselfish. So, I mean, that's just very big.
This group really enjoys being around each other, don't they?
That they do.
I'll tell you a little story yesterday, and you can tell me, you can kind of fill in the gaps. We're sitting in the airport in Charlotte yesterday, and there's a game, what's it called?
Among Us.
Among Us. And it's almost like all of us old heads remember the game Clue, where it was a murder mystery. This thing is done on your devices. And we're sitting there, everything's quiet, all of a sudden you'll hear this big, whoa, and because somebody has figured something out. Who is the best Among Us players among our group of players?
Well, you really don't want to be too good because you got to lie on that game. So Shake is a really good liar, I'll tell you that. Cam Weston is a great liar.
Shocking.
JB is that dude there, man.
By the way, JB's birthday is today.
Yes, it is.
Happy birthday, JB.
But we were all in that corner. We didn't think we were too loud until Nick came over and he told us. But we're just having fun at the end of the day. No matter where we're at, we're going to make the best of our opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, we had a little bit of a layover in Charlotte there, but you all did. You all made the best of it. Tell me something about Jalen Counter that I don't know, and these folks don't know. You've already kind of, I mean, you came pretty strong with the COVID stuff, but anything else?
I'm a game freak. When I'm not in the gym or in classroom, I got these headphones on. I like to play the game 24/7. That's all I do. Like I said, if I'm not in the gym or in the classroom, I play the game 24/7.
You are a huge football fan too.
Oh yeah, I love football. I love football.
And who's your Chiefs? Who you got? Cowboys?
Don't say the Chiefs ever again. Denver Bronco fan.
The Broncos?
Yeah, don't say that. I don't like them.
Well, they brought back the old uniforms this weekend.
We did. We kicked some tail. I tell you that much.
That's right. And you're watching all the playoff games. I mean, on the bus, wherever we're going, checking in the hotel. I mean, you know what the football scores are all the time. And that goes back to just loving football too.
Boomer Sooner, I'll tell you that much. Growing up there, my grandma was a extremely sports fan when it comes to OU. She has a mat. Once you walk into our house, it says, the Sooners are playing. Let yourself in. So, growing up like that, OU's always been really good. We haven't been, the past 2 years. Hopefully we'll be back on track. But I'll give credit to her.
Yep. All right, wrapping this thing up. This team is off to a 10-5 start, 1-1 in the league. What's this team got to do to go to the next level?
That's one thing Nick and his staff was talking about in the film room today. Just little things, man. You got 15 games, 10-5 already. We've been playing some pretty good basketball, but we want to be great. We want to bring a championship to this town, to this city. Just little things, man. Continue to play hard, continue to play unselfish, continue playing our brand of basketball. And then once we keep doing that, there's going to be good things going to happen.
Well, continue doing what you're doing and continue to do you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I always do that.
J-Rock, Jalen Counter is our guest tonight. We'll step aside. Coach McDevitt rejoins me after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
RJ Young is no longer just your office copier supplier. We are now helping you create the modern office. Our cutting-edge solutions cover security systems, business phones, managed IT, and AV technology for your organization. We've teamed up with world-class partners to save you more through building services, and our U.S.-based specialists are your personal coaches, making sure you always have the highest degree of personalization.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company for over 80 years. Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in supporting and treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes. Providing expert treatment of injuries to bones, joints, or muscles, TOA's team of orthopedic specialists can get you back in the game. Same-day appointments and walk-ins are welcome. Injured? Visit one of our many ortho urgent cares, or to make an appointment, call 1-855-NEED-TOA or visit www.toa.com. TOA, the official team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing. Update your information and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders.
Last 30.
Serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
Coming up in 3, 2, 1.
Raiders Rising is the official NIL collective for MTSU Athletics. Raiders Rising provides student athletes from all 17 varsity teams at MTSU opportunities to earn income based on their name, image, and likeness. Follow at Raiders Rising on X and RaidersRising.com for more information on upcoming events, how to donate, and become a member. What about that Jalen Counter? He's something else, isn't he?
Man, he's a good one. I was telling Lisa Beatty, she said, I picked him out the first game that I watched y'all play. I knew he was going to be a good one for you. And I said, well, you got good eyes. But I do remember, I said, I remember having one of the first recruiting conversations with him when we were recruiting him. You know, Eric Wilson, one of my assistants, brought me in his office back in the spring and said, I want you to take a look at this kid. Like, you know, I think he's pretty good. You know, his team wasn't very good, and, you know, that's not a knock on them, but I think he's pretty good. And I said, man, I like him a lot. Well, the next day we had to fly out to Phoenix to the Final Four, and we had some events that we were doing. I remember we were in the hotel room, and I told Lauren before we go, I said, I need to call this kid real quick before we get too busy with the rest of the day. It was almost an hour later. We were still on the phone, and I remember I got a phone, and I said, man, we got to get this kid. And he brings energy. He's about the right stuff. He's a great young man, loves balls, about winning. You know, we're lucky to have him. You know, I like him a lot. And, he's a good teammate. Our guys like playing with him. One thing earlier you're talking about, what's something that you don't know that people might not know about you? Rock's a big softball fan.
Oh, is he?
Rock's a big softball fan. He sure is. And I was asking him, this was why he was on his visit. This about a week later. It's May.
Oklahoma City's where they play the College World Series.
Exactly. And so he's on his visit, and I said, the weather's nice. You want to go to the softball game? And the Lady Raiders were playing. He said, I'd love to. I said, really? He said, yeah, I love softball. I said, do you really? He said, my grandmother, he said, we grew up in Oklahoma, and everybody knows Oklahoma's softball team's very, very good. He said, me and my grandma go to the Oklahoma games all the time. And so it was he knows a lot about his softball because his grandma's a huge OU fan, and obviously they're good. But we're glad to have him. He's been a great addition to our team and a big part of why we're winning. We made a little switch going in the Myrtle Beach tournament in our lineup, and that's because at one point he was averaging about the 5th or 6th most minutes because of the rotation. And when he was coming in and his plus minus, he was number 1 on the team.
Yeah.
I said, well, if he's going to influence winning that much, the guy that's got the best plus minus has got to start playing the most minutes.
Yeah.
And so you can't cram that many minutes if he's not playing the most minutes. So we made the switch, and he's doing really, really well.
Yep. It seems to have helped the team with getting him and Cam a lot of minutes
together.
Yep. So, yesterday was a long travel day. We had a 5-hour layover in Charlotte. At least my group did. The early group that had to leave.
You threw that in there.
That gave me a lot of time to think about certain things, and also gave me time to come up with 5 random questions tonight for the head coach, and it is a crowd favorite, not a Nick favorite. So here it is. Question number 1. What goes best with peanut butter on a sandwich?
Jelly.
What kind of jelly?
Strawberry.
Strawberry? No, grape is the correct answer.
Strawberry jelly.
Strawberry jelly.
See,
okay.
I got Cooper Lee is rocking the fist.
I understand that. Okay.
Some people may say banana. Peanut butter banana.
I was waiting to see if you were going to go down that road, but I agree with you. It's jelly, but in my case, it would be grape. Number 2, if you had an exotic animal as a pet, what animal would it be?
A tiger.
A tiger?
Yes.
Not a liger?
I don't know. Maybe like a pet snake. My wife would love that. She's terrified of snakes.
I think that'd be good.
And
our
kids have figured that out. If she hears the word snake any time past about dinner time, she has nightmares. So,
really?
Yes. It's probably happening tonight.
All right. Have you ever broken any bones?
Yes. Multiple. My pinky, my nose. When I was young, I actually broke my femur.
Ugh.
I had a compound fracture, and for those that remember, it snapped my bone. We were playing keep away at my grandmother's house, and my femur went like that. And so
that's not supposed to happen.
If you remember, the days of being in traction, where my leg was up in a sling basically until it had stretched back out. And then they put me in a body cast. I was in a body cast for about 8 weeks from my armpits over both legs, had a bar connecting both legs, and I laid flat on my back for multiple months because they thought it would affect my growth plates and that my left leg would be shorter than my right and that I would never play sports. But I got really lucky and watched soap operas when I was growing up on the TV in the hospital room for about 2 months.
There's a lot of information right there.
I was 5.
You were 5 when that happened?
I was 5 years old, yeah.
Okay, number 4. Do you think you've ever seen a ghost?
Do I think I've ever seen a ghost? No, but I'm sure most moments that everybody has, have had those moments where the hair on the back of your neck stands up something ain't right in this room right now. So yeah, I mean, there's been those moments. I don't know if I ever feel like I've seen a ghost though.
All right, quick answer to this one. Who was your date to your senior prom?
Date to my senior prom. There was a group of us. There wasn't anybody there wasn't a.
That's a cop out. Lauren's here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting the double wave off from Christmas Sorrow in the back. like I'm a ref that made a bad call. I've seen that one from him up in the stands before. But yeah, there was a group of about 8 of us, 4 couples that we all went together because there wasn't really a whole bunch of, serious relationships, so we just all went together.
All right, we'll accept that as an answer, I
Perfect.
guess. All right, we're going to step aside, wrap it up after this with Nick McDevitt on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company for over 80 years. Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in supporting and treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes. Providing expert treatment of injuries to bones, joints, or muscles, TOA's team of orthopedic specialists can get you back in the game.
Sounds good. You'll have probably about 45 seconds till I start it.
Ortho Urgent Cares, or to make an appointment, call 1-855-NEED-TOA or visit www.toa.com. TOA, the official team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics.
Last 30.
TSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing. Update your information and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Coming up in 3, 2, 1.
Nick McDevitt Live brought to you in part by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. This week, Kennesaw State coming in as a new member of the conference. They're kind of an unknown to a lot of fans. Tell us about them.
Well, they're talented. They're 9-5. They're 1-0 in the league. Their 2 guards, Simeon Cottle and Adrian Woolley, are their 2 best players. They're averaging 36 points between the 2 of them. Cottle's a senior, averaging almost 19, right at 18.5. But they've got a freshman guard, Adrian Woolley, who's averaging 18 a game. He's a really talented young man from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Their head coach was an assistant at Alabama for years, so I'm sure there was that relationship that was able to get him over to Kennesaw. But they are an athletic group.
All right, that'll be Thursday night, 6:30. Hope you'll join us. For the head coach and Jake Lyman, our studio producer, thanks for being with us. We'll talk to you Thursday from the Glass House here on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
You've been listening to Nick McDevitt Live.